I wonder how Independent is faring.
I wonder as well.
I'm sure he's fine.
I'm not so sure. He rejected Jalen most of his life.
Let's ask Double Life. He should know.
Let's not ask Double Life.
Oh? Well, what's this all about?
Hear ye, hear ye. Shortly you will face your king. He has beheld your heart and discerned your fruit. He knows your hearts, your motives, your thoughts and feelings, as well as your works. Nothing is hidden. Know his judgment is just. And now, step forward, Selfish.
Did he just announce my name?
Yes, I believe he did.
Perhaps I was chosen early because I was the mayor of Endel. It just occurred to me. The ancient writings speak of ruling positions in Affabel. And it's very possible that...
It's time, Selfish.
This is phenomenal.
Selfish.
Sages, am I glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be able to see you as well.
Tell me something. Are those thrones I see all around the Great Throne?
Yes.
And it appears that a few are still empty.
Those are the thrones of the under-rulers.
Under-rulers? That sounds appealing.
Come.
Those doors. Oh my. Sages, I see an old friend. May I?
You may.
Social? Is that you?
But my name is no longer Social. It's now Content.
That sounds quaint, but why are you here at the back of the hall?
It is a great honor to stay anywhere in Jalen's throne room. Although, if I had known in Endel what I know now, I would have lived differently. I'd be closer to him today.
I don't understand. You were a great citizen in Endel. You ran one of the most popular restaurants we had and donated to more causes than I could count. And what about those nights you donated meals for the needy?
Well, I did those things to gain recognition and acceptance. I also knew it would draw more patrons. But I should have listened to the words of Jalen. He told us, when you give a feast, invite the poor, the maimed, the lame, the blind, and you will be blessed, because they cannot repay you, for you shall be repaid at the resurrection of the just. I donated those dinners for my benefit, not for the good of the community.
But what about all those contributions you made to the School of Endel?
I actually only gave a small percentage. I hoarded much of the restaurant's profits because I was afraid of failing. The little I gave was to ease my conscience.
I made some contributions to the School of Endel as well.
I know.
I'm wondering now.
When my life was reviewed, it was clear to all that I lived more for my own comfort. My own comfort, security, and reputation than for his glory. Now I'm one of the lowest citizens of this city, and yet I am still overwhelmed by his goodness and how much he loves me.
Wait now. You said lowest citizen. Do you mean to tell me there's a class system here?
Yes, there is of sorts. And we were taught this in Endel, although many of us never considered it seriously. But deep within, we knew. In fact, when you walked into this hall, I heard your thoughts.
You did?
You anticipate being assigned a throne. Am I correct?
Well, I suppose, perhaps I... You heard all my thoughts, you say?
Oh, yes. We all did.
Oh, my.
Those of us who live more for our own purposes than the kings are the least in the kingdom. We occupy the back rows here in this hall. We also live in the flatlands, where we work the labor-intensive jobs. Those who are more loyal in Endel occupy the middle of this hall, and those in the front up there. And upon the thrones, are those who were faithfully obedient and lived passionately for the king while in Endel. They are most blessed, for they live in the beautiful regal center on the eastern cliffs. This is where the king lives, and they are privileged to live and work right alongside him. These are the greatest in the kingdom.
Oh, I see.
Selfish. Know that Jalen is a just and loving leader. None of this life would have been possible had it not been for him. It's a great privilege to occupy even the least part of this city.
Come, Selfish.
Much to ponder there. Hold on, is that Motivator, the teacher from the school?
It is he.
May I speak with him?
You may.
Mr. Motivator,
Hello, Selfish.
I'm a little confused. You were a great teacher of Jalen, and your classes were some of the most popular in school, so why are you here in the back rows?
This is my place. I am one of the least of the citizens of Affabel. I live in the flatlands and work as a plumber.
What? You're one of the least? You should be on one of those thrones up there.
It was a great privilege and responsibility to be an instructor in the ways of Jalen. And yet, in many ways, I failed.
No, I don't understand.
My teachings were unbalanced. I emphasized only the positive aspects of serving Jalen. I motivated many of my students to use his ways to pursue success, without warning them about the pitfalls and snares of life. I didn't teach them that the truest goal of life was to please Jalen. The ancient writings clearly stated I was to preach the whole counsel of Jalen. I taught, but neglected to warn. I built numerous lives which brought little glory to Jalen. And a good number of my students now inhabit the Forsaken Land of Lone.
No.
I didn't give the students what they needed. I gave them what they wanted. It was more popular to say all was well. It wasn't well. I encouraged their course and solidified their deception. Though some made it to Affabel, many of them are found here, in these back rows. Their lives were spent wastefully, and their efforts consumed with fire before this judgment seat. And I yet grieve for those at Lone.
You said fire?
Yes. Do you not remember the ancient writings? Everyone's work will be put through the fire to see whether or not it keeps its value. If the work survives the fire, that builder will receive a reward. But if the work is burned up, the builder will suffer great loss. The foundation, of course, is the lordship of Jalen, which we both know is the only way a person can enter this kingdom. However, once we truly belong to him, we should build upon this foundation. When measured by the ancient writings, my life fell short. I neglected to use my authority to impact my students for Affabel, and inevitably, I lost my reward.
Mr. Motivator, I am deeply sorry.
My name is no longer Motivator.
Jalen gave you a new name.
Yes, Humbled.
Oh. Humbled.
Come, Selfish.
Sages, I'm starting to wonder. Do you believe I truly built up others? Or was I merely using them to build my own success? And when I was mayor, did I rule for Jalen's glory or my own?
I was your teacher. Jalen is your judge.
But
all will be revealed in time.
I'm noticing something unusual here. The further forward we walk, the more royal these people look. And the ones on these rows all have crowns and scepters.
We are now in the midst of the under-rulers of Jalen.
What's amazing to me is despite all their royalty, they have this love in their eyes. When I was mayor, I tried to be loving as well. Perhaps this is the place for me. In fact, wait.
Is something wrong?
The one coming toward us. I believe she's... No, it couldn't be. She's an under-ruler? Sages, she was a secretary to one of our city assembly members. Why does she have a throne?
What do you remember of her?
Well, not much. She never stood out. Definitely the quiet sort, and look at that. The royal guards are bowing to her.
Selfish.
Hello?
Welcome to Affabel. Jalen asked me to speak with you before you come to him. I am now known as Patient, one of Jalen's rulers here in Affabel.
But how could you be here? I'm sorry, I didn't mean it quite like that.
Don't be embarrassed. Deception cannot hide within this hall or the great city. You are only being honest. In Endel, you were concerned with image and reputation. This trains many to speak deceptively. Words are very important, but even weightier are intentions, as they are always apparent here. You will learn this soon enough as you are judged for every word you spoke in Endel.
Every word? Do you mean every single word of every conversation?
Every word. Remember the admonition of Lord Jalen. You can be sure that on the judgment day, everyone will have to give account of every useless word he has ever spoken. Your words will be used to judge you, to declare you either innocent or guilty. Useless words are vain, idle, or careless, all of which are contrary to the nature of Jalen.
I'd always understood we would have to give an account for huge lies or great truths we had spoken. But every word, Patient, what am I about to face here?
The ancient writings are clear. Your reward depends on what you say and what you do. Not only will your words and works be examined, but the motives behind them. You will also be judged by the thoughts you embraced. Do not forget Jalen's judgment is righteous, testing the mind and the heart. This is why you are so surprised to see me on a throne. Your judgment of me was according to my accomplishments in light of Endel. Jalen's judgment is in a different light, one which you are beginning to see now, and one you will soon see vividly. Your king awaits you.
Thank you.
Selfish, it is now your time to walk alone before the throne. I will wait here.